Blake Samson is our resident battery of energy. He's full of enthusiasm and fantastic riding, and you guys see that week in, week out. So what can you take from Blake's riding attributes, his riding style and his energetic personality that will take your riding to the next level? What's in it for you? Let's take a look at some of the things Blake has in his corner that make him stand out and that you can develop into your training and riding to become better at mountain biking itself. First up, discipline. Blake practices the technical skills in depth. In fact, no dirt jumper can be accused of avoiding the hard and monotonous training needed to master the tricks needed in that sport. The practice is also dangerous, and that is stressful on the body and the mind too. So it takes a huge amount of discipline to stay focused on repetition of the moves a dirt jumper has in his trick bag. They need to be second nature. That only comes with hours and hours of practice, and Blake does that in bucket loads. Blake can pull big moves like flip whips, 360 tail whips and flares, all the big moves. Hidden in that trick list is the evidence that Blake puts the hours in. You can't learn tail whips easily. Starting to mix that level of trick into things like backflips or 360 spins is another level. Enjoyment. We all love Blake's infectious enthusiasm. The guy is just bubbling with desire to go shred his bike. This enthusiasm comes into its own when it's tested, when things don't go to plan. This is the time when Blake's superpower comes into play and protects him from the negative offspin of things like punctures, bad weather, cancellations, a change in plans, etc, etc. All the things that can bump a day off track and potentially ruin your mood or passion for the day you had planned. Blake can just shrug this off. I've seen him do it time and time again. He naturally looks directly to the positive aspect of his new reality. So a puncture becomes a great opportunity to use a new tool or to set a new record time for replacing a tube. Maybe bad weather is the perfect opportunity to wear that new cool jacket he's got in his bag. Everything gets that level of enthusiasm. It honestly is a superpower. Willingness to learn. Progression. The Blake Build series is the perfect example of Blake's willingness to learn new skills. In fact, I think he craves it. He absolutely eats this stuff up. So building that new bike cave gave him the time to learn how to design and construct something new. It was right up his street. In fact, Blake is generally a bit crafty. He loves making his own stuff, including clothes, wallets and watch straps. I bet you didn't know that about him. This trait bleeds into his riding in a really beneficial way. It is why we have all seen him progress and develop his riding on the channel over the years. Starting as a well-rehearsed dirt jump and slopestyle rider into a smooth and stylish and very capable trail rider. Each year, Blake is getting better and better at riding his mountain bike. That is because he wants to master new skills all the time. Don't take it all too seriously. Not only is this a fantastic side to Blake's philosophy of riding, it is just a great life lesson for us all. When you combine this part of Blake's character with everything else I've mentioned, you have the perfect complement. His ability to keep everything in perspective is very powerful. It allows him to stay positive, it pushes him to see the fun, it urges his desire to learn. I think we all have moments when we take ourselves too seriously. I expect even Blake has at times. However, if we can avoid it, we can keep an even keel. Blake is a very balanced rider. He's able to push himself to learn a new and dangerous trick, but also able to keep the need for this trick in perspective, something that is very important when dangerous riding is concerned. The moment a rider loses track of the need for safety and starts putting the desire for the success over his or her personal safety, then bad things happen. Blake has been able to keep things in perspective because he knows it's just a bike trick. It won't change the world or cure diseases. It's just riding bikes. That's all. It's just fun. Blake is an awesome rider we can all learn from. Make sure you take a look at some of his awesome videos on the channel. Whichever one you choose, get ready to be caught up in his enthusiasm for riding bikes. It's infectious.